You must have specific and attainable growth goals or your business will die.
Welcome, everybody, to the Chris Harder Show, where we are making you unapologetic about your pursuit of success, knowing that when good people like you make good money, they can then do great things. My name is Chris Harder, and several times per week, I will bring you epic guests, solo episodes, and every single tool, trick, and skill set you need to grow your business, grow your money mindset, and to grow your wealth to levels that you have never reached before. I've ended up in a unique place in life where I've got the experience, the connections, and all of the secrets that it takes to be successful. And I'm lifting the curtain to reveal it all to you in an effort to help put you in a position of abundance so great that you can then be as generous as possible. So let's lock arms and let's get started.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Chris Harder Show, where today I am grateful that I got to fly into Arizona and hang out with my mom and my brother and watch the Packer playoff game, even though the game was garbage. They looked horrible. Still grateful to be able to just fly in for a day, make those memories, fly out in the evening. Those things are the best things that money can buy, is experience with the people that you love. And if you're like, what the hell is this dude talking about? If you're new to the show, I always start all of my solo episodes with something that I'm grateful for. And it's just my way of leading by example, showing you exactly what happens when you focus on gratitude and when you focus on what you do have instead of always focusing on what you don't have. So I guess it's just kind of my friendly little reminder to be like, hey, listen, every minute of every day, you can focus on what you do have, even if it's way less than you want at the moment, or you can focus on what you don't have. And when you focus on what you do have, those become seeds that you can plant, things that you can build on, and you'd be amazed at how life just unfolds in your favor. That's what that's all about. Also, awesome announcement. I'm really proud of this in record time. The Elite Entrepreneur Mastermind for 2025. This is the mastermind where you have to have a $500,000 per year business or larger to even apply. Well, we've reached what I call the tipping point. Every year, there's the tipping point where we officially have extended as many invitations for somebody to claim a seat as we have seats available. Now, don't freak out too much because not everybody takes them. See, the process is you fill out an application, and then if your application passes, you and I do a Zoom interview together. If the Zoom interview is awesome, and if I know you're going to be a great fit and get a lot out of it, I will extend you an official invitation. If I don't think you're going to get a lot out of it, then I point you a different direction. And so because it's such a in-depth process, it takes a while to reach that tipping point where we've extended enough official invitations that if everybody said yes, the seats would be full. And that's exactly where we're at. Now, like I said, not everybody will say yes, but most people do. So this is kind of like your 2-minute warning. This is kind of like your last quarter drive in the fourth quarter. It's time for you, if you want to be a part of this mastermind where you get one-on-one coaching from me, where you get to collaborate and learn from really talented 7- and 8-figure peers, where you get to learn from and ask questions about your business from the best of the best in the industry, from our circle of influence. We bring in celebrity entrepreneurs, so that you and a small group can ask them about your business. If you want that kind of support this year, and I'm just going to say it, it's the best one on the market right now. Don't ask me, ask the 60 to 70% of people that renew every single year, year after year. If you want a part of that, this is kind of your last chance to hit pause and go fill out the app. So right now, if you want to interview for it, hit pause and go to chrisharder.me/mastermind. Again, that is chrisharder.me/mastermind. Click apply. We'll check out your app. You and I will jump on Zoom. And it's my job to curate the perfect room where everything you need this year is in that room or one introduction away. And I do that through these interviews. And you could be that missing piece. So go to chrisharder.me/mastermind, click apply. Now, we're going to talk about something that has to do with learning from your peers and has to do with growing your business. And it's this. It's a very blunt statement. And it's this. You must have specific and attainable growth goals or your business will die. And your business can die in a year. And if it doesn't die in a year, it can be on life support in a year. It can happen really fast. And one of the biggest reasons that happens is because you have the goal of growing, but not a specific growth goal. Do you hear the difference? A lot of people every year, they're like, oh, good. This year I'm going to grow. This year I'm going to make more money. But they don't have a specific growth goal and metrics behind it to get there, an actual roadmap. And I kind of got this concept from a book that I'm reading right now. It's a really good book, by the way. It's called Barista to Billionaire. I suggest you check it out. And he says in there, he says, businesses are like tapeworms. They must grow to survive. Businesses are like tapeworms. They must grow to survive. In other words, businesses must grow or they'll do the opposite. They'll shrink. They'll die. There is no staying the same in business. There is no, oh, I've got a good thing going. I'm just going to kind of keep it this way. In business, you're either growing or you're regressing. There is absolutely no in between. There is no just being content. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is the truth that somebody needs to tell you. This is the wake-up call that someone sometimes needs to give you. You see, you need revenue growth, either through price increases or increased sales, to sustain things like payroll growth, when your team wants raises because they deserve them year after year, or when your team wants promotions. If you're not growing your company, then there's nowhere to promote them to, and they leave you, or the inflation of costs of goods sold or cost of services rendered. Every year that gets more expensive. So if your business stayed the same, that means in a couple of years' time, to put on the exact same business or sell the exact same widget is going to cost you a lot more. And you may run out of the ability to pay for your COGS, to pay for your cause in that case. The cost of keeping pace with competitors, when your competitors make advancements or add new features, that also forces you to be growing or you're automatically going to regress. You see what I mean? You have all these things that make it impossible for you to say, oh, this is nice. I'm just going to stay the same this year. It's impossible because inflation happens, your competitors' advancements happen, your team wants promotions and raises, so you can't stay the same. You must grow. That's the only choice. If you don't grow your revenue and the natural inflation of these things happen, then mathematically it will put you out of business. There'll be no profit left. Let me give you an example. Let's say your most talented, prized employee comes to you this year and says, hey, I've been working really hard. I know I'm making a difference. I want a good raise this year. Or maybe they might say, hey, by the end of the year, I want to know that I'm working towards a promotion. Well, what's your answer going to be? Sorry, I decided not to grow anymore? Is your answer going to be, oh gosh, I'm sorry. We're just staying the same this year, so there's no money for raises. Where do you think that employee is going to go? They're talented. They're going to go somewhere where they've got growth opportunity. See what I mean? You must grow or you will die. Your competitors, let's say they offer some new awesome features. You used to run an event and now they start running a similar event, except they add free seating or something like that, right? They add new features because competitors, by the very definition, they're competitive. They're always trying to add new features to outdo you. So you have to match or exceed these new features that your competitors are going to roll out. How do you do that? You need money to do this because your cost of goods or services are going to go up in order to keep up, right? You following me? The natural attrition of customers is going to happen to you. I mean, no matter how great your business is, no matter how great your product is, people are going to leave or people are going to try something else. Humans try new things eventually. It's called being human. Heck, customers even die. So backfilling these customers comes with a CAC, a customer acquisition cost. And you may not think so, but every customer you've ever acquired came with a cost to it. Maybe it was the cost of an ad to get them. Maybe it was the cost of an event you put on so that they came to so you could get them. Maybe it was the cost of your time, the cost of your knowledge, but every single customer has a CAC, a customer acquisition cost. And as this CAC goes up to replace customers, this again means your revenue must go up or you're not going to be able to pay for the customer acquisition cost. It's just the way it works. You see, hopefully, you simply don't get the luxury of quote unquote staying the same. It's just not possible. And add to that the notion of when you start a business and when you start making hires, starting with your very first hire, you are committing to being responsible for the sustainability of that business and that person's job, because what's behind that person's job and that person's salary is a family's livelihood. They trust you if they show up every single day that there's going to be a job in the future for them. It's a responsibility you take on as a business owner. Once again, proving that you must work to grow your business, or by default, it'll die and you're not taking the responsibility serious enough of making sure there's food on the table or a roof over the head of the employees that are trusting you. So what does this mean for you? Well, first and foremost, you must have a measurable growth goal for 2025. And if you haven't already done so, and not just, I'm going to remind you, not just, I've got the goal to grow. That's not good enough. That's not a goal, but an actual measurable, well thought out growth goal with metrics behind it and a plan behind it, a target to hit. You see, you can't arrive at a destination if you don't first have a specific destination. That's what I mean by having a target to hit. And next, you need support for your new goal. You need new mentors, new peers to share ideas with, new plans other than the plan that you've been using the last couple of years that has only gotten you where you've gotten right now. Now, you can let someone like me curate that for you. I would love to. But you can also do it on your own. You can go gather new peers to exchange ideas with. You can go find other mentors out there to learn from. Heck, there's enough free leadership and mentorship on freaking YouTube. But you got to go tune into something different this year in order to get something different this year. I'm going to give you an example of where mentorship becomes really valuable. When you join our Elite Mastermind, your first starting experience is a one-on-one strategy session with me. It's awesome. It's a couple-hour deep dive into your business. I learn about your goals. I learn about your business, and I start to add advice or connections or whatever right away out of the gates, right? Well, I just did a bunch of these this week for new members. And one of our awesome new couples that just joined us, they have a business where they have a physical product that they sell. And when they told me what their fulfillment house is charging them for every one of these products that they sell, I said, wait, what? There's got to be a mistake. It's how much? And they told me again. And I said, no, you're wrong. They're not charging you that. And sure enough, they were charging them this certain amount for every single product they sold to do what's called pick and packing. So picture a fulfillment house, like a warehouse. When you sell a product, they pick and pack and they ship it for you. They were charging these folks minimum 3 times what it should be, likely 4 times what it should be. But instead of just stopping there being like, hey, you're paying too much for this, we then brainstormed, okay, where could we go? And I texted a couple of my friends that have fulfillment houses, and I got kind of some loose pricing. And we realized, sure enough, we could save you just by switching a few $100,000 a year if you stayed the same this year, more if you grow this year, right? I mean, talk about instant savings. That's amazing. But then we took it further than that. And I said, why aren't you just renting out a garage, having them shipped to your garage, and hiring some people to pick and ship this yourself? Like, these are very light, easy items. There's no complication here. There's no formulation. There's no filling anything. These are just literal physical goods that are already done and shippable in basically a flat box, flat envelope. And then one of the two in the couple said, I've kind of always wanted my own warehouse. I've always wanted my own pick and ship. And so instead of paying somebody else hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars each year to do this, we ended the strategy call with them starting their own shipping and logistics company as a form of vertical integration into their company. So first, it's going to save them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars this year. But then they're going to be able to do this for other people, for their competitors, for other types of companies. And it's going to be a new multi-million-dollar company for them simply because we were able to go from, hey, you're paying too much for this, to what if we did this on our own, to now they're going to have a multi-million-dollar new vertical integration business. That's what I mean by getting outside perspective, outside advice from peers, mentors, etc. And that's what I mean by knowing your numbers. And that's what I mean by having measurable growth goals. Listen, if you want advice like that, this is your last chance to apply for the elite level mastermind. All you have to do is right now, at the end of this show, hit stop, go to chrisharder.me/mastermind, click apply, fill out the app. We will jump on Zoom. And I promise if it's not an absolute hell yes fit for you, I will let you know. But if it is, we're going to change your freaking life this year. Thanks for listening, guys. Love and appreciate you. chrisharder.me/mastermind. Can't wait to see who gets these last few spots. Thanks for listening. And if you loved this episode and know of someone else who is as successful as they are generous, please pass them on to me. It would mean the world to me if you help me get this cause and this message out to as many listeners as I can. So please, if you liked what you heard, it goes a long way if you take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review and share this with your friends. I'll be forever grateful. And until the next episode, cheers to your success.